On the southernmost tip of the Tuason Peninsula, 22 miles or 35 kilometers south of downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, lies a small area of land called Point Roberts. It borders the municipality of Delta, British Columbia. Boundary Bay lies to the east of Point Roberts and the Strait of Georgia to the south and west. Point Roberts is about 2 miles from north to south and 3 miles from east to west. The first Europeans to see Point Roberts were members of the 1791 expedition of Francisco de Eliza. In 1792, George Vancouver sailed on the waters near Point Roberts. Point Roberts was named after Henry Roberts, who played an important role in the expedition led by George Vancouver. With a population of 1,191, according to the 2020 census, Point Roberts is part of Whatcom County, Washington State. In 1846, the United States and Great Britain signed a treaty agreeing that the 49th parallel would constitute the boundary between U.S. and British territory from the Rocky Mountains to Georgia Strait. As a result, Point Roberts became an exclave, a piece of U.S. territory requiring land travel through Canada. In 1861, American and British Boundary Commission officials agreed a 20-foot stone obelisk should be placed in Point Roberts to mark the western terminus of the U.S.-Canada boundary. Both countries agreed to split the 1,500-pound cost of the 40-ton monument. The obelisk was made in Scotland and erected on this western point of the boundary in 1885, marking the longest undefended border in the world. 10 feet of Canadian land on the north side of the obelisk was donated by the homeowner in 1958. Had this donation not occurred, the current residential lot would go right up to the monument, preventing the ability to walk around it. The obelisk is the centerpiece of the 8-acre monument park. Point Roberts formed from the sand and gravel outwash of retreating glaciers 15,000 years ago. It was an island until the Fraser River Delta grew to connect it to the mainland. The earliest human occupation of Point Roberts dates back 9,000 years. The highest reach of this glacial deposit, some 200 feet above the sea at the southeast corner of Point Roberts, is Lily Point. Lily Point was the most important native reef net fishery and one of the most significant salmon fisheries of the Central Coast Salish. In 1791, a Spanish explorer reported an incredible quantity of rich salmon and numerous Indians at Lily Point, the southeastern corner of Point Roberts. In 1889, 16 native reef nets were in operation, and a single net would catch as many as 2,000 fish a day. A newspaper reported in 1880s that 3 reef nets took 10,000 fish in 6 hours. In the late 19th century, non-Indian fish traps displaced traditional reef nets. Later, a cannery was built. After some 20 years of operation, the cannery was closed in 1917 due to a depressed salmon market. Commercial trap fishing was popular in this area until the mid-1930s. At Lily Point, when you look south across the Strait of Georgia on a clear day, the view is spectacular. Apart from a number of islands, including Orca Island, the largest of the San Juan archipelago, the view of the snow-covered Mount Baker is breathtaking. The peak is 10,781 feet, or 3,286 meters above sea level. Lily Point is also an ideal spot to watch bald eagles. Bald eagles are protected under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act. It is against the law to harass, harm, or even disturb bald eagles. Visitors should view eagles from a distance of at least 200 feet and never attempt to make an eagle fly. Lighthouse Marine Park is another popular place to visit. The lighthouse was torn down in 1965 due to Typhoon Freda. Lighthouse Marine Park opened in 1973. In the late 1990s, Lighthouse History Trail was created. Along the trail is Sun Sweep, which is a three-part sculptural concept that symbolically joins the US and Canada. Placed in November 1985, Sunsweep is an international art project to celebrate the exclaves along the US-Canada border. Carved from a single piece of granite, the rest of Sunsweep is in the northwest angle, Minnesota, in the Lake of the Woods, requiring land travel through Manitoba, and on Campobello Island, New Brunswick, requiring land travel through the state of Maine. Hiking Whale Trail and walking along beaches of Point Roberts, keep an eye out for some iconic marine mammals, including orca, gray whale, and harbor seal. You're also able to see many shorebirds flying in various formations. Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to this channel, Words of Woods.